All right, trying to find some good light. So I can't stop thinking about generational curses because this is something that people often don't teach. People don't teach how people have passed down a slave mentality, or how people have passed down a poverty mentality, or how Egyptians actually had slaves. Hello, somebody. So if black people are Egyptian or black people are African and African is Egyptian, Egyptian is African, then the slave mentality not only came because people were slaves, but became because people had owned slaves. Let me help you to understand what I'm saying. Go back and research Pharaohism, however you want to research it. And you will find out that a lot of those pharaohs were black people. So if pharaohs had slaves, even if we're just talking about the children of Israel, then we understand that black people had slaves. Okay, let's just be for real for a minute. And so to pass down slavery mentality is to pass down beatings and whoopings and not wanting to hear someone else's conversation, not wanting to deal with personal problems, not want to deal with the reality of the root of the issues, and which we know a lot of people of color have because they have not been taught how to be humanoid enough to have effective and efficient communication. I'm not talking as if I'm racist because I'm brown. That don't mean I'm black. But I get treated like I'm black a lot of times. And then I have to speak from this mouth so you can understand that you're not going to treat me like I'm some kind of ignorant nigga. Let's be for real, okay? All right. So when you pass down generational curses from lineage to lineage, and that's a mentality of poverty, a mentality of hatred, a mentality of crime, you are doing your entire generation an injustice. When you pass down dishonorable acts and dishonorable teachings, and I guess you could say the Bible will call it vain philosophies, and pass down practice of animalistic ways, let's put it like that, you are cursing your entire generation. What I mean by animalistic ways, let's talk about that for a minute, okay? An animalistic way is feeding into your animal nature versus your human nature. For some people, it's snakes. You just act like a snake and you can't help but acting like a snake. For some people, it's just a donkey. You are a donkey and can't help but act like a donkey, okay? For some people, it's a dog. You got to carry a bone. You got to jump over a fix. You got to dig a hole. You got to tear stuff up, mess with people's shoes, mess with people's clothes, and then beg for attention. Oh, let's just be for real. If that person don't give it to you, you're going to run around and find the attention you want while trying to hump everything you can hump. This is animalistic behavior. I don't mean to be vulgar. I don't mean to be rude. I mean to be real. Because sometimes I don't care about how you feel. Talk to Tila. Tila's going to be real, okay? Listen, I am that voice crying loud in the midst of the wilderness. Hello, somebody with me. And I spare not your feelings. Because sometimes it's your feelings that got you in trouble. Let's just be clear, okay? So anyway, so long story short, okay? Well, we can go ahead and get it there so we can understand what it is that's being said. You cannot speak about racism or discrimination when you yourself is racist and you yourself are very discriminatory. I've met so many people of color, and you know who my enemies have been? People of color. People of other races, it's like a hey and a bye. We're not concerned with you because they understand that people of color are a problem to people of color. Let's just be for real. And as long as you are a problem to people of color, what these other races got to do with you? Oh, but they want to blame these other races. But believe me, I'm going to say it again. People of color have their own problem within their own caucus. Let's just be clear here. But you cannot blame anyone or anything for that in what you've taught your generation. You cannot blame anyone or anything for practicing the same practices that have killed you or your generation from generation to generation. You cannot blame anyone that you stayed the same. Time changed. Things change. Technology changed. Society changed. Your body can change. Why are you not changing? Somebody look at your neighbor and say it's time for a change. So before you blame anyone of any race, before you blame your next door neighbor, before you blame somebody in your generation, I want you to take a good look in that mirror and tell yourself all about yourself and deal with yourself. It is time for you, especially brown people, to deal with your own issues and stop blaming everybody and everything for your own hatred, your own racism, your own intellect. Because you have to be true to yourself. To your own self, be true.